One of the things I always heard about the Toyota Supra was how cool the dashboard was. A lot of people referenced it to looking like a fighter jet, how the dashboard hugs the driver, how everything is centered towards the driver. And I have to admit, it is really cool. So I wanted to go in detail on that. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, let's go ahead and start by turning on the car. So the key goes over here. All right, the car starts. And as you could tell, the AC system lights up, the clock lights up, and your odometer lights up. And we have a door open light and we have a driver's seat light. Okay, here are gauges. As you can tell, we have the tachometer in the middle, which I love, which is awesome. And then we have our gas, and then we have our temperature, and then we have our speedometer. Now, one thing I love about the speedometer is it says 180 miles per hour. I've been in a lot of cars, and most cars do not show 180 miles per hour, and I think that is really cool. In the top right hand side of the dashboard is going to be your odometer with two buttons. One is the OD trip, and you have your reset button, and you have your hazards, and you have your driver information panel. Okay, we have our clock here, and you have your hour, your minutes, and your seconds, and I think it's pretty cool. But something really neat about the Supra is that this diameter of this clock is the exact diameter for a lot of aftermarket gauges. So a lot of people remove this clock and put in a boost gauge or something else in there, which is really neat. You don't have to cut it, you don't have to do anything, it just slides right in there, which is actually very helpful. And I might do that in the future. Okay, so this AC vent is one of my favorite parts about the car. If you look at the AC vent, the design's really neat. But if you look at the inside, I'm not sure if the camera captured it, they even went above and beyond. When you turn the AC vent, it has this really neat little feature in here that the vents close and open up, but it's almost artistic. So I highly recommend that if you can't see this in camera, that when you go look at a Supra, that you look inside there and see how that works. So talking about the AC system, this is a 1994 car, and it has auto, which is really neat. And you could put that on there and enjoy different settings. And we have the vent settings here. But one thing I want to talk about is the temperature settings. Now, I'm going to try to be quiet so you could hear this, but the increments are actually really tiny, and I am very gentle with this, and you want to be gentle with them because they're very small little changes. So here we go. It's got small little clicks, and it's very precise, and I never go fast or slow, but it's very precise on that. So it's attention to detail, in my opinion. And we have the blower, and then we have our cigarette lighter. Very classic, very generic, standard back in those days. And over here we have where the radio is at. Now, the original radio on this car was a double DIN. Now I'm at a single DIN, and as you could tell, like, it came with a little port where you could put something in here. And a lot of people have double DINs, and I've seen them online, and I might switch to that. But the great thing about it is that most standard double DINs do fit in here, and it actually, if you get something flush, you can give it a good look. But what I liked about this radio was that it came with this color which matches the other colors, which was really neat in my opinion. And as you come down here, we have our traction off buttons, and it looks like there's other buttons where you could add things, maybe something from the factory. Okay, let's talk about the steering wheel and what is attached to the steering wheel. Okay, we have our lights, we have our windshield wiper, and we have our cruise control. Now our windshield wiper, you know, pretty standard, you know, has your washer fluid, so you could wipe it, but you also have your rear washer fluid, which is pretty neat. And you have your intermediate settings, and you have a little bit more precise settings, which is pretty cool. And then you have your cruise control. You have your set, you have your resume, and then you have your on and off right here in this button. And over here you have your lights. Of course you have daytime running lights, or not daytime running lights, but you have just your normal lights, and then your highlights, your beams, and that works pretty well. All right, let's talk about the left-hand top side of the dashboard. We have our security light, which is pretty cool, and that kind of blinks when you're not in the car, kind of scares people off. I'm not sure about that, but and then you have some more information panels, or panel there, and this one shows, looks like oil, and then traction off and on, and then it shows check engine light. So you know, having your both information panels in your right and left hand side, right at you know, an eyesight, in the view of your eyesight, I think is awesome. Okay, now let's talk about the left hand side of the dashboard. We have another cool vent. I love these things. These are really cool. And we have our instrument panel lighting adjustment right there. And then right here we have our side mirrors, our adjustment. They're electrically powered. And that pretty much concludes that. Another thing I didn't catch with the steering wheel is that you do have tilt right here, which is pretty neat. We have auto switch for the driver's side, which is awesome. And we have up and down power windows, and then we have locks, and then we have locking your passenger window. Now I always call that the mean fart lock, so they can't ventilate that, but that's what we have there. Thank you for watching the video. We really appreciate it. Also, if you want, hit the like and subscribe button. See you next time.